have not. Okay, so then if there aren't any other announcements, we can move on to acquisitions related stuff. So my understanding is that people are being upgraded this week. Is that a true statement? Okay, so how many people are on 2511 now, like have been upgraded? I guess it would be last night. Or you will be, yeah, how many are on now? Raise your hand. I'm not sure how you do that here. Go under React and you can put your little hand up there. All right. Okay, Barbara is on it. Christie says they will be tomorrow. Okay. Last month, we sort of went over the enhancements that were in there for acquisitions in the new release. I was going to kind of go over some more of that stuff and show you. Okay, so updated tonight, tomorrow. Okay. All right, so this week is when this is all going to happen for most of you. We can, so the Koha-US site also is going to get upgraded this week, so I couldn't use that as a demonstration site. And then I tried to spin up a sandbox, and it gave me a server exception when I did that. So the only version that I have on 2511 is our version. And I have to be careful to not show any patron details when I do that. So we may be able to show some of the stuff, but I feel like I'm a little handicapped right now to actually demonstrate some of the new features. But
I'd be happy to show anything on my test site. I would need you to tell me what to click on because I'm an acquisitions novice.
Okay.
But I do have a test site that
works.
I can get on 2511. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's good news. Okay. That way we can explore things. So so I'm working through this in my head, which is a little foggy, as you can hear with the congestion and stuff, but we're going to work through this. New features and enhancements. So there's a couple of them that there's really nothing to show. You know, it doesn't really, can't really demonstrate it. So I think we did do the add ability to manually link orders to suggestions. This enhancement allows library staff to link an order to an accepted suggestion. So that would allow so there's an email that gets sent relating when the actual order for the suggestion gets placed, and I think when it gets received, there's an email that gets sent. So linking this order to a suggestion would automate that process for people that have placed suggestions. I don't know if anybody's interested in seeing how that works.
I have a question about that, Rhonda. This is Marci.
Yeah.
Does that work with EDI as far as?
That's a very good question. So I'm looking at this and it says it's an unclosed basket or a standing order can be linked.
Okay.
So I would think that if you
I'm wondering if you place the EDI order, which closes the basket, and then reopen the basket to link
yeah,
the line items, that it would maybe work. I could test it
okay,
with
yeah,
real stuff.
okay, yeah, because it's kind of hard on a test server that doesn't have EDI
Yeah.
stuff on it. The
Marcy, I've used it before. Excuse me, it's Christie on EDI,
Yeah.
but and it's worked, but it's not after the. I haven't done it after the fact. I've linked it, like putting it into the cart and then ordering EDI. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah,
oh,
no. So you did it before you do the link before you place the EDI order.
Yeah, because when I add it, yes, correct.
Okay.
yeah, because I was thinking if
Nice.
you did it after you ordered, they wouldn't get the email that said that it had been ordered. Because that would be historical.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Perfect.
Thanks, Kristi. That's so. Do you have 2511, or you've just done that in the past, Kristi?
I think I tried it after like our last acquisitions meeting.
Oh, okay.
But we happen to be, I mean, I think it's a great feature. Maybe because we're a smaller library, we offer the patron, we actually place holds on the items for the patron, which takes extra time in acquisitions. But I thought at some point it's a nice option to just let the patron know, oh, it's been ordered, and then they can place the hold. And then when it's been received, they would know it's come in as well. So I like the option.
Yeah. No, I think it's great too. We experimented with it when we first got on Koha with like our Amazon orders and stuff just to see how it worked, but then realized if you had it working for non-EDI orders, but not EDI orders, that would be confusing to patrons. So then we just stopped because we get so many purchase suggestions through our staff, through Koha. Yeah, Charlie asks, do you still have access to the Koha-US test server? Yes, I still do have access to it. It's just that it's not been updated yet to 2511. It's still on 2505. So, yeah, I think there was actually a message that they are getting their upgrade on the 23rd, which would be Thursday. Yeah.
Hey, Rhonda.
Yeah.
I have a question, and this really isn't related to acquisitions per se.
Okay.
But have y'all enabled the holds grouping option, and how's that going?
Yes, I enabled it. I sent out an email to all the staff. I did a video of how it works and what to watch out for. I don't think anybody's used it because it's a staff. It's not a patron thing.
Yeah.
At this point. Yes, hyperholds is the other term that people are using for that. John, yeah, group holds, I think, was what it started out as, and Andrew can correct me if I'm wrong, but and then I think that term seemed a little confusing to people, and so they wanted something different, and then they started calling it hyperholds. So basically, if you're not familiar with that, it's where you can take multiple items, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many you want, and group them as if they're one hold. And then when one of the items triggers the hold, for lack of a better word, triggers the hold, all the other ones will be eliminated when that item is picked up. From my testing, it's when the item is picked up, then all of the other holds that you have in that group are released, are no longer on hold and unheld.
And that is all correct. Also, while that item is waiting on the hold shelf for pickup, all of the other holds in the group are ignored or like basically suspended.
Yeah. Yeah, because I got like 50 bajillion. I think we all have that one or two staff members that ask 50 bajillion questions about any kind of change. So this particular person came in and she had, all these questions. So I did a thorough, I tried everything. And what Andrew is saying is, yes, once the first one is triggered, then it's like all the rest of them are suspended and they won't get triggered, because that was a big concern.
Suspended as in it still shows on their holds queue, but as a suspended hold, or it goes away.
It'll still show in the list of the patrons' holds. It's not actually marked suspended. It has some wording on it, like this is part of the group. But yeah, if you check in an item that would fill that hold, Koha will just ignore it. It won't try to fill another hold in the group.
Yeah.
But it waits to actually cancel and delete all of those other holds until the patron has actually gotten an item.
Picked up the item.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
And these are separate bib records?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can create the group one of two ways. You can do a search, and then from the search results list, you can do check boxes, and then there'll be an option, across the top that says place group hold or some, I don't know what the words are anymore, but and then that will create a group hold. Now, sometimes that's great if you don't care what version of Harry Potter you're going to get. You just want you don't care if it's the large print or the illustrated or the regular or it's an audio book. You don't care. You just want that book because you're going to be in a book group that's reading it, book club, and you just want that book. Other times it's more the case where the example that comes to mind is you've got students, high school kids, say, and they were given a list of books at the end of the school year that they were supposed to read one or two of these books for their summer reading. And so they don't, there's like 3 or 4 of them that they would be interested in reading. So you can put holds on all 3 or 4 of those. And then you can go to your holds area and click, click the ones that you want to put into a group and then group them there, because there isn't going to be a search that's going to give you in the search results, the Telltale Heart and Fahrenheit 454 and whatever, what's that called? Siddhartha or something like that. You're not going to get a search that will give you all those on the same search results thing. So Andrew's got a little, learned how to click.
I just took quick screenshots of what that little box looks like.
Yeah. So that's on your holds page. So you can do that from your holds page. So that's it's useful. There are situations where people would love that kind of thing. The fact that for us, we've got Aspen and this isn't available on Aspen yet. So it's just, for us, it's just the staff side thing. So it would involve a conversation with somebody, they're like, oh, I want this, this, and this, and do you have this book? I don't care what, the staff would be able to. They have a tool now to do that, but I am unaware of anyone actually using it right now. So that's the long-winded answer to that question.
So it's available in the staff interface and on the patron side in the OPAC?
In the OPAC, patrons can group holds as they place them, but they don't have any way to like go into their list of holds and group holds that already exist. Because that seemed too complicated to give to the patrons. They should seek staff assistance with that.
And
Can you say that again?
What's that?
Can you Andrew say that again?
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. From the OPAC, the patrons can, if they're placing multiple holds at once, they can click the box to say these should all be a group, but there's no way for them to go into their list of existing holds on the OPAC and group them up from there. If they want to group existing holds, they need to talk to staff about that.
Thank you.
Sure.
And my follow-up question is, that's the Koha OPAC, not Aspen, is my
Correct.
understanding. Okay.
Yep.
But that they're working on it in Aspen too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We've got that on a test site for the folks who sponsored it to test, and we're waiting on feedback from them.
Okay.
Great, thank
But
you.
it's like ostensibly done.
So is that the Aspen implementation is similar to the Koha OPAC implementation, where in the search results, they could group things, but they would need staff assistance to do the other.
Yeah. Aspen also gives you a handy button on a grouped work to just click once and place holds on everything in the grouped work. So if you want to get like the hardback and the paperback and the large print all at once.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. All right. Any other questions about that? It's kind of a neat thing to be able to do. But,
I see more use for it on the staff side, not really the patron side. So I don't think if it does come up for patrons, we're not going to turn it on if it is an option.
oh, okay. On the patron side. Yeah. It might, even with our staff here, when you just say grouped holds, things like that, what that looks like is very different. Their ideas of what that term means were so different. And then I explained what it really was, and they were like, oh, that's not at all what I thought it was. So I can see on, and these are library staff people. And if you gave that terminology out to the public, who knows what they would think that they were actually doing.
There was one person that thought hyperholds is faster holds. And we were like, no, that's not at all what that means.
Yeah, I could see that too. I think
it's a nice option though, because when people try to hedge their bets on, popular items and they have multiple holds, and it's frustrating. I'm sure our libraries are frustrated because sometimes they get all three of them at once, therefore taking away those items from other patrons. So I think it's a great option.
Yes. Yeah. And the flip side of that is they get the first one and they don't cancel the other holds, and then they get triggered, and then they sit on the hold shelf for whatever your period of time is. And, it just is, it pulls that item out of circulation for way longer than it needs to be. So with this option, at least the ones that don't get picked up, the holds get removed from that. And Jason wants to know, when do we get lightspeed holds? Soon, I'm sure. Anyway.
Andrew, in the OPAC, I had a question on the patron side. How obvious is it I mean, to do this, like, you know, if someone was interested in a title, like Rhonda and I just said, and there are 3 different versions, is it obvious to them, like, oh, let's do a group hold and I'll get the first one?
Here, let me show you. So this is the OPAC of my test site. It is very boring. So from here, if I do a search and check the boxes for the things I want to hold on and place a hold, then it's this box here, treat as hold group, next available item fulfills all holds.
Oh, that's pretty obvious. That's cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then once that hold is placed here in their list, each one of them says part of a hold group. And actually, and you can click that to expand it. This is one of the follow-up bugs that has already been written to make that a little more obvious, that you can click on it and to also put a column in here that shows you the number of the hold group, the hold group ID. So you have kind of 2 ways to tell what's together and what's separate.
That reminds me, one of the things that we did do, our holds to poll report is a custom one, so we can tweak it on our own. And one thing I did was added a, what is it, hold group ID column, so that when people are out there pulling hold, this should never happen theoretically, because if somebody, you know, if a book is available on the shelf, if they're in the building and there's a book on the shelf, they would just go and get it and check it out. They wouldn't need to put it in a hold group. Maybe if they were doing this from home and didn't realize that the book was actually on the shelf, they could put something in a hold group that was available right now. So I just added a column in the holds to poll report that showed the ID number of the hold group. And that way, if, you know, when they do the report, if they see 2 of them with 7 in the high ID hold, whatever group hold ID column, they would know to only pull 1 of those, because that was one of the questions that came up. I mean, if this is used properly, holds, okay, so Andrew just put in the bug, holds queue should show when holds are part of a group. Yeah, that would be the one thing that, you know, our staff was like, I don't want to pull all the, 3 books and then get to the, to check them in, and one triggers a hold, and then for whatever reason, the other ones don't. And then I've got to figure out why, and, all that stuff. So that was one concern. So that bug should address that problem. Okay. Hold groups at real-time holds queue, multiple titles show at once.
That second one is the sort of larger task of making it so if I've got a grouped hold, staff only get told to pull 1 of them. And I think that's going to be a local configuration thing, because some libraries are going to want to show all of them and then fill whichever one staff get to first. And some libraries are going to want Koha to only tell staff, go out and get this 1 book.
Okay. All right. Okay. That was enlightening. Okay. So I'm going to go back. Oops. Yeah. To our list of acquisitions things. If you have questions, about 2511 or, acquisitions in particular, not necessarily related to the new release, please ask them. We've got lots of people here with lots of experience, and we're happy to answer questions. I see new names in the list here. And okay, we've got a raised hand. Jennifer.
I do have a question, not related to the new release.
Okay.
But we just started with acquisitions this year, so I'm hoping someone can help me. We actually got more money in our budget, and I was able to increase our budget in Koha, but then when I go to increase a fund, I'm getting an error that says fund amount exceeds period allocation. What should I be doing, I guess, to edit a fund?
Do you
Okay.
need to edit the total for your budget? Like increase bump up the
I
total
was
for your
able to do
budget?
that. So I have the total budget amount increased, but then the money was earmarked towards this particular fund. So I'm trying to increase that one fund.
And what is the message that you get?
Fund amount exceeds period allocation.
So you can increase the fund as well once you increase the budget, the total budget amount.
Are you sure your math is right? That would be the question.
Yeah, I'm going into edit and just updating the amount. And then when I go to submit it, that's when I get that error.
That seems.
So this doesn't sound common.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the fund that you're trying to increase a child under another fund?
No,
Okay.
we don't use sub funds.
Okay. So you've got your budget amount, and this is a fund underneath the major budget amount.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Maybe I just need to play with it more. Honestly, it came up a little bit before this meeting, and I'm like, oh, good, I'm going to this meeting.
Yeah.
But
try what I would do is try to increase the fund by, let's say, $100.
Okay.
And just see if that works.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, I would kind of piecemeal it just so that you can get a better idea of where it goes south.
Okay.
If you
all right,
can't
I'll
even,
do some.
Yeah, if you can't even add $100, then something's not right. But you should be able that you did the right procedure.
Okay.
That's how it should go.
All right.
Increase,
I'll do some more playing.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a question, Rhonda.
Sure.
The updating of the EDI plugins.
Yes.
After upgrade. How smoothly did that go? And I know it may go smoother for us than it did for you since you graciously worked out all the kinks.
Yes, we were the ones that were like, why isn't our EDI working? Oh, let me go fix the plugin first and then it will. So once the plugins were updated, it was smooth.
Okay.
Yeah. The actual process for updating the plugins, I think we did that last month and led a few people astray because they did it before they were updated. Oops. Okay, I see that question from you, Charlie. It's just a matter of clicking the buttons and then it's updated. And after we did that, it was great. It was fine. Okay, Charlie said, do you use Libraria EDI by any chance? Yes, we do. I don't know if anybody else, yeah, and it seems to work. I mean, we've sent an order this month since we updated and it worked fine. Once we had our stuff set up improperly so that every time we ordered, all the items came in as available. And then we had to go back in and, change them all to on order. That was on us. That was not the EDI plugin. But now that that's fixed, yeah, it worked great. John said, did Koha go back and get the missing EDI invoices from before the upgrade of the yes, we have all of our EDI invoices now. I think we had to ask Ingram to resend a couple of them to the FTP server because they had sort of timed out because of the time lapse between when it got, for us, when it got fixed and from the time they sent the invoice to when the plugin got fixed. So, but
John,
yeah,
I think you and I were the ones that upgraded before our time. And so I actually had to go back to a prior version to get those EDI invoices. But like Rhonda said, if you've waited this long, you probably need to ask the vendor again. But mine came in automatically once I backdated the plugin.
okay. Yep, good deal. Okay. Yeah, so updating those EDI plugins, it's really pretty straightforward and it works great once you update them. Let's see here. Where am I? Enhancements.
I have a question if we have a moment. I am wondering if, and this applies to anyone who's using EDI or not using EDI, if you guys run into issues every month, if Midwest Tape is one of your vendors with their security certificate expiring. Anyone?
We have not. We have Midwest as a vendor.
Okay. Are you using EDI?
Yeah.
We've never had that issue with them. If anything, they're our least problematic vendor.
Really?
They're really smooth. Yeah, if you talk to your contact person, they usually figure it out pretty quick. They're on it for us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we've never had an issue with it. Like Charlie said, they are probably the least problematic. And
Let's change the word problematic. I don't mean problematic.
Yeah, they're the least. I mean, they're the smoothest.
Yes,
they just and it's easy for us. Our reps and stuff. They are real responsive to questions.
Okay.
And
thanks.
Yep. And Charlie, do you use the Libraria EDI?
I will be in the upcoming. Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm just waiting until tonight and then tomorrow I'll start setting that up because
okay.
it couldn't be used before 2511.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. And I think Follett is working on getting EDI. If you're interested in, finding other vendors that after Baker and Taylor folded, Follett seems to be interested in absorbing some of the public library market. They hired some of the people from Baker and Taylor and are working on getting EDI set up. And we also saw that they're looking at getting more adult books in their collections as well. So Follett might be somebody you want to consider.
Are both offering cataloging and processing for outsourcing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we Follett's is geared right now for school libraries, which isn't bad. It's just I don't know how to explain the difference, but their processing is great, and they may be over processed, like they send us extra barcodes and they send us extra spine labels and all kinds of things like that. But yeah, it's good. And then Libraria also does, processing, and we get MARC records from both of them as well.
heard, I'm just putting this out there, we're not using it or anything, but I've heard that Backstage, the people who do authority record updates also can work with you to do processing for your materials. Like Ingram would send it from them and give it to Backstage, and then they would do it, and then Backstage would send it to you. It would be an additional shipping cost, but I thought that was very interesting.
Speaking of authority control, we were using Marchive before they
Stop.
became no longer.
Yeah.
We are now using No One,
Mm.
and I'm having trouble convincing my director of the benefits. I mean, he understands the benefits. He just thinks it doesn't matter to patrons because that's not how they search. Anyone else using No One and not feeling good about it, or any ideas on how to justify that?
It's going to be okay until it's not, and then
Yeah.
everything's gonna fall down. Just tell him that it's just a big problem in the
Yeah.
future. It's if you don't do it now, it's gonna build and build until everything crashes.
Does anyone know of a company other than Backstage that provides authority updates that isn't specific to an ILS vendor?
We use Backstage. We picked them because they were less expensive and more responsive than Marchive at the time that we selected them. I think it was pretty much between Backstage and Marchive.
Yeah.
But they don't
So-
have the oh, sorry, Christy.
Go ahead.
For Marchive, or for Backstage, I believe you still have to do more manual processes than Marchive when we had Marchive. So I think that's why we stuck with Marchive.
So I was going to ask, because we don't use either, and I'm not familiar with either. What is the benefit of us adding one of these to our library?
So what we had with Marchive is we sent them our entire database first off, and they then created the authority files for subject headings, name authority. Is that it? Is that the only two things? Genre headings?
Yeah, the genres, and then the
So they updated and gave us a clean authority file. We did this slightly soon after migrating to Koha. And then where the real value comes in is that when there are updates to an author name is the big one for me. They send you updates and then you import them into Koha, and Koha pushes them out through the authority links so that it will update, it'll add the closing death year for the author that just passed away, or the additional descriptive information to distinguish this John Smith from that John Smith. So eventually, and what we're starting to experience, especially with a lot of the authors who were self-published and now they're not, they now have authority files and we don't have that. So we have records out there that have their kind of casual name, and then records out there that now that they've been picked up by mainstream publishers have their Library of Congress authorized heading.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've added, I see that Lori said they use Backstage, and we justify by adding the value added content like summary notes, tables of content, award notes, homosaurous, etc. And we have them put in reading level, and something else. I can't remember now what it is. Which the reading level, our youth services people love having that information in there. And yeah, it just, to me, it's either one of those things where do it right or don't even have the tags in there, because if they're wrong, they're frustrating. Yeah, I agree with what Charlie says. It seems like the added value, but it's making sure your records stay relevant as time goes by.
And findable.
Yes. Yeah. Because you may not think that they're clicking on those subject links or the author, especially the author ones. Our folks were clicking on the author ones all the time, to find other books by the same author. That's an obvious one. And when that wasn't right, we heard about it.
There was also with foreign names, like it's spelled differently in different countries, and the Romanized version is different from how it's on the book or something like that. When we were getting materials from Korean authors, what was on the book is not what they were sending us in the mark from the vendor. So by having the Backstage update that for us or added the new author spelling, it could be found easier, or it's more discoverable.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right. Kind of got tangentially related to acquisitions kinds of questions. And I think there was, shoot, hang on one second. Talks among yourselves or whatever that thing was. I just want to look up, it seemed like there was one homework thing from the refresh group. What is their chat? What is the Koha chat thing?
Mattermost.
Mattermost. One second. I'll see. Well, my computer has to decide it wants to work too. So spinning.
I showed up here today with a homework thingy from the acquisitions refresh people. I wonder if it's the same thing you're looking for.
Oh, possibly. Yes. What was that?
Their plugin for checking the migration math.
Oh, okay. That's
maybe it's not the
different.
same thing.
Yeah. But you can talk about that one while I dig around here.
This is an extra special favor ask from the people who are doing the acquisitions rewrite. Part of that change is taking all of the existing acquisitions data and reworking the table structure of it, which means moving and adjusting a lot of numbers. And they are very interested in doing that correctly, as I'm sure you are all too. So they've written a plugin that you could put on your Koha system and basically do that math in advance. Make those new tables the way their upgrade, their code currently does that, and then give you a place to compare the two and make sure that those numbers are all still correct. That what what their upgrade spits out maintains the structure you're looking for. So I told them I would come to you all and ask you to please, if you have time and brains to do some math, to put this plugin on your Koha site and run it and compare the output to your current budget structure. Doesn't sound like a fun day to me, but it would be a helpful thing.
And this is if you have a Koha test site.
You can do it on your live site. It's not actually changing any of the data. It's taking what's in your budget and copying it into new tables that don't get used for anything except right now just looking at in this plugin.
Okay. So you're not gonna mess up your current budget by looking at it.
No. So I put a link to the plugin in the chat there, just to wave at it. Here it is. This KPZ file here is what you would want to install and upload on your Koha site. And then the plugin gives you 3 things to do: create the tables, create the views, and then delete the tables when you're done. I could put this on my test site, but it will be very boring. Here, let's download that. So if I run that, oh, didn't like my test site. That's not terribly surprising. My test site has weird data in it. But yeah, if you have the time and the will, please give this a try. Feel free to open up a ticket if you run into troubles. Ultimately, the acquisitions rewrite working group wants this information, which I'm sure Rhonda could help you with. Like Michaela Sieber over in Mattermost is the person who really wants it.
Yep.
But yeah, it'd be a nice favor to the Koha community at large, and a chance for you all to help make sure this goes well, because it's a big change.
Yeah, it is a big change. I don't see what that homework was. I will dig around a little bit more, and then I will send out an email when I figure out what it was. And somehow I have really messed up my screen. Okay. So I think we are pretty much, we've got 6 minutes left, but we can, if anybody has any other questions, we can sure answer them. But wish you all the best as you transition to 2511. It's 251102, is that right? Like 02 plus? Is that kind of what we're going for?
That's my understanding, yeah. It would have been 03, but the community release of 03 was a little slow. So ByWater took 02 and added all the really important stuff to it.
Okay.
And then next month, everybody will go to 04 and be sort of all caught up.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Our next meeting, let me find my calendar here. Oh, there is May 19. It will be a Tuesday, the 3rd Tuesday of May, which is May 19 at the same time. And we can talk about all the great stuff that we can now do when we're on 2511. It'll be fun. And then, yeah, if you're interested in giving a presentation at the conference, submit a proposal. You can email me if you have questions. I'm happy to answer them. If somebody wants to go, if it turns out that I don't end up being able to go, then I will definitely be online for any kind of backup and all that good stuff. Quick plug, be sure to check. Oh yes, the community challenge. Just about forgot about that. I've been trying to sign up all morning and whatever that challenge hound thing is giving me fits. But I asked the conference website form this question, but does anybody have a good sense of when the start and stop times for the programming are?
I think during the conference we'll probably start at 8:30 or 9 a.m.
Okay.
Each day, and then probably wrap up about 5.
Okay, so when it says the 18th, the 20th, it's the entire day of all those 3 days.
all
Okay.
day. Yeah, we kind of condensed from last year. We had a 4-day conference, and we kind of condensed it to 3 days. So all 3 days will be full. Yeah.
Okay, so get there either really early or the night before then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably a good idea.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see everyone again next month, and we will talk some more about acquisitions. And bye, everyone.
Bye.